Hi there, I'm back, Tarot Down Under. So what I'm going to do today is a reading on Trump, Murdoch and Fox News. And I'm trying a new layout. It's quite an elaborate 15 card layout, so I hope it works for this topic. And so let's just launch into it. Okay, so give me a minute for this. Oh, they're upside down, sorry, I've got to put them in that order. Yes, they're the right way now. Okay, it's quite an interesting one, this. Let's see what comes of it. So then it goes like this. And one more here. And here. Okay. Let me take you down to the cards. So I'm looking at several things within this reading. We're dealing with two of the most despicable men on the planet, Trump and Murdoch. In fact, I'd venture to say Murdoch's worse because he thinks Trump is, in his own words, a fucking idiot. So to back him to the extent he is with Fox News is totally delirious and inexcusable. If he believed in it, it would be bad. It would be just really bad. But no. So just taking a minute on Rupert Murdoch's background. He's Australian. I'm so proud not. He took out American citizenship to buy Fox News. But I remember him from back in the day. I lived in the UK for a long time. And in 1984-85, there was the miners' strike. And Rupert Murdoch's papers all supported the mine bosses against the miners. And that strike went on for a year, which was massive for working class families and mining communities all over England and into Wales. It was huge, and it was the last stand, if you like, of the great labour movements. And they lost, largely thanks to Murdoch's support for the bosses and for the Conservative Thatcher government. And remember, Margaret Thatcher came in at the same time you had Reagan. So together they introduced the killing of unions and the end of labour conditions as we know it. So now if you're working and you're on a shitty contract, it directly goes back to the power they gave to all bosses then and the powers they took away from working people. So that's Murdoch's background. That's where he gets his jollies. He has two adult sons who seem like normal human beings, and apparently when they're interviewed say, oh, well, we don't agree with this and we don't agree with that. But they're still there because they're hanging in for their inheritance. So Fox News is the demon spawn of Murdoch, and as we know, it's Trump's channel. They just blindly defend him. Okay, so one more thing before we get to the cards. Fox News is listed as an entertainment channel. It's actually not listed as a news channel. It cleverly called itself Fox News. And they don't actually hire real reporters. And I remember Sean Hannity and I think even Neil Cavuto or different people have said, oh, I'm not a journalist, I'm a commentator. And so they get these right-wing commentators and then they pretend they're Fox News. So let's see what the cards have to say about this relationship spawned in hell. Okay, these three middle cards are the current situation. So here we have, in the centre, the King of Swords, most usually Mullah. So that is, to me, very interesting. Very interesting indeed. because if we look at the big picture, should the Mueller investigation pull the carpet out from under Trump, then Fox News is going to look really, really bad, and rightly so. They are out there defending this position, as we know, against all rhyme and reason. So they are this particular voice supporting Trump. They're alone in the sense of, although I'm sure there are a lot of shock jocks and right-wing commentators who say a lot of things that are vaguely in support of Trump and his ideas, we shouldn't forget that, but they are the big voice of that. And both of them are megalomaniacs. We know this because we keep getting this card. The greedy, greedy card, the insatiable greed. Too much money is not enough. And lest we forget, Rupert Murdoch is rich in a way that Donald Trump could only dream of. Donald Trump is chump change compared with Rupert Murdoch. So here, I'm moving to these cards now, which are the environment or atmosphere of the reading and of the topic. So let's see what's coming up there. Yes, so they've got the Strength card, they've got the Eight of Cups and the Four of Swords. So I'm going to say with the Strength card that on some level it still represents strength in a conventional sense. They're both strongly bonded, regardless of what Murdoch thinks of Trump, and he will defend it because he wants the rest of Sky News. This is his actual end game. It's not just Fox News. He wants Sky News and Sky Sport. So their strength and their willpower is being devoted to this endeavour. We have here the Eight of Cups, which is walking away. If it was on its own, I would be thinking maybe Murdoch's, and he must be thinking, will I pull the plug on this guy? So there's a slight possibility of that, but I'm not seeing it just yet. And the other thing that I've read and heard generally is that people who visit Murdoch are a bit puzzled by this because he not only doesn't respect Trump, he really doesn't like him, and he actually doesn't like the idea of what Fox News has become, but it's his bread and butter in the United States until he secures the Sky deal. So I don't know that he's walking away yet, although next to it, we're talking environment here, the Retreat card. So at this stage of such a long reading, I'm going to leave these two together and see if there's any other indications he might pull the plug. This is hidden influences and hidden agendas. And both these men have immense hidden agendas. Murdoch more than Trump. Trump's not that good at hiding things, but nonetheless, the dirty underbelly of what's going on. So let's see what these three cards are bringing up. That's more what I would expect. So linking from this Swords card, you've got the Ten of Swords, which keeps coming back, right? And the Six of Swords going away. So I'm beginning to get a warmer feeling about this. Fox News is taking a lot of flack. They're looking really stupid. And if you employ clowns, you get a circus. They're starting to look cheap and nasty, which they are. And so this, in fact, might force Rupert Murdoch, the father, to rethink and move away from Fox News. If Fox News deserts Trump, there will be others that come into their place, but they won't speak with that single voice. The King of Cups, emotions, an older man, depending on the context of the card, either very in control of his emotions, which is much more likely to be Rupert, or with more negative cards, out of control emotionally, which could be Trump. So if you look at these three cards together, you've got both of them represented in the sense that clearly Rupert Murdoch, as an 86-year-old, is very controlled and Trump is very uncontrolled. So I think ironically it does represent both of them at the same time. Okay. Now, this is Trump's outcome and this is Murdoch-Fox outcome. Okay, what will we go to first, Trump or Murdoch? Let's go for Trump. Here's three cards. The women celebrating again. Okay, general celebrations. The Page of Pentacles is news. So you've got women celebrating news of the devil. So as Trump declines, and it's amazing with 78 cards in a tarot deck, how often the devil comes up in relation to this man. So in the context of the devil card here, Trump and Murdoch are chained together in the service of the devil, or you could say Trump and Fox News are chained in the service of the devil representing Murdoch. But in terms of women celebrating, already there have been legal cases, this is the legal stuff, about the bad treatment of women at Fox News. So I'm thinking in relation to Trump, there is still going to be more legal cases that even Fox News can't hide about Trump. Interesting, because as we sit here, he's already saying the 16 women who have accused him are all lying. But if they have a legal case, and that is still being talked about and may still happen, these actual women, including some who worked for Fox or went through the Fox studio system, they could actually be victorious, and this could have a dire impact on Trump and Murdoch. Interesting. Now, coming up to Murdoch and Fox News itself. Yep, they're learning nothing. They're going to keep going with their Fred Flintstone approach, which is so crude as to be embarrassing to the world. I don't think we have to worry about Fox News going on and on in the future. I think it basically, Murdoch's put all his eggs in that basket for now. And look at these. Look at these. 8 and 9 of Swords. No matter what the topic was, you wouldn't want either of these cards in the reading, and you certainly wouldn't want both. And you certainly wouldn't want both together as your outcome card. So that is saying to me very strongly, I was a bit iffy down here, but it's saying to me very strongly, Murdoch is going to regret his investment in Fox News and his total investment in Trump. Now, I hope that gives you a bit of heart, but I'd also like to say about Fox News, although it wins awards for the most watched cable news, The demographic tell the story, and it's older white men. And who are the biggest voting bloc now and in the future? Younger, diverse people, not older white men. So no matter how many of these guys are watching Fox News, I've yet to meet a millennial who says, sorry, I've got to go now. I'm going home to watch the news. It doesn't happen like that anymore. That's not where they get their news. I'm much more concerned that they're getting rubbish things on Facebook and other social media sites. But I think Fox News is a waning force. It will have to do with more legal scandals, and in and of itself, it's, figuratively speaking, shot itself in the foot by being the authoritarian state apparatus. It's like something you'd see behind the Iron Curtain in the 60s. It is so unveiled and so blinkered about Trump. So rather than being shot in the foot, I think they're going to be stabbed, and it can't come a minute too soon. So I will leave you with this imagery for Fox News, and I'll see you next time. Bye. There's a lot more to do. So many more topics. Back with you soon. Bye.